and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. It's a Friday evening here on the south coast of the UK. We are in West Sussex and it is, it's 17.5 degrees inside shed quarters. It's a little bit more breezy and cold outside. I've already been for a 10k today. Jonathan Cost, is that you? He says, good to see you, Stephen. Thanks for the Zwift tips. Or it's JC. I don't think it is Jonathan Cost. Clive is in. Hello to Tina, who's on the chat already. Anthony Anderson is in. I saw Heather joining. Kev Newman is there. Tonda, Hopper. Wazza is there. We're doing the tour of Watopia Stage 3 for the second time this week. So it's 5.1 kilometres, not very far. We'll be done in half an hour. Just to get that extra double XP to just jump us up. I'm about halfway through level 28 at the moment. Victoria's come to say hello, or have you just come for a message? Question. Matt. Yeah. Right, so, just little family messages. Getting passed backwards and forwards. Heather, hello. Clive Finnemore, hello in the chat there. We're off in about 30 seconds. Like I say, it's going to be a nice short one. I'm not going to be speeding off. I'm just going to go at 10 kph. So just a normal pace. And Victoria says she will see everyone tomorrow night when we do the final Paris Marathon long run. The last one tomorrow. Victoria's wearing her Paris Marathon t-shirt. Good evening, Amy. Good evening, Paul Hayward. Don't fall on the treadmill, will you? Right, I'm going. I'm off. Go. Victoria's going to crash and burn on the treadmill, even though she's not running. And we're away 10 kilometers per hour. Nice and relaxed. Clive made it just in time. Heather says she's just in from a long drive and she's doing MHG pace. And if you don't know what MHG pace is, it's 8 kilometers per hour. So that's nice and relaxed. Henry de Graaf is in as well. Hello to him. No pain, no gain is there. Will Billance is there. Hello to you. Johan Furley is running. Good stuff. Nice big crowd again this evening. Full stop. Hello everyone. Or this afternoon if you are in. Actually, hang on a minute, it's 6 o'clock. In some parts of the USA, it's still the morning. I've just said all afternoon if you're in the USA, but some people, it's still morning in the USA. If you're in California, it's still about 10 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, we're doing Dust in the Wind, which means we're going through Titan's Grove, which means we might see some dinosaurs. Although I'm not sure we go quite far enough into Titan's Grove to see the dinosaurs. Amy says, has everyone had a good day? Yes. I went out this morning and did 10k. Oh, before that, I spent the morning in Starbucks editing video. Then, around lunchtime, I went out and did 10k on the seafront, filming a video. I've had a little doze on the sofa since I've got back, then started editing some video again, which I've got to carry on with once I've finished this run. I've also just had mackerel on toast, and I've literally just had it. So I was hoping it wouldn't affect me too much because I'm not going to go too quick. Tina says it's been a wet day where she is. And yes, she says you have to go 7k to see the dinosaurs. So we're only going 5k. So we won't get to see the dinosaurs today. Paul says it's been a great day. Clive says, well done, Amy, with the VR run, 3rd place. What's that all about then? Amy, tell us about this VR run. What was that? I haven't seen it. My overhead camera's gone off wonky again, hasn't it? Oh well. So yeah, hope everyone's had a good day. It hasn't been wet here, but it's been very windy. I had a nightmare on the seafront trying to record video, making sure my microphone wasn't getting blown to smithereens by the wind. I've got back and I've checked it, and the audio is not too bad, so hopefully it's usable anyway. But it was very windy out on the seafront today. Annoyingly, we don't go quite far enough in to the forest to see the dinosaurs. Yeah, like Tina says, it's 7k in to see the dinosaurs. We don't go that far. Somebody walking on the grass? Okay, so Amy has finished the virtual run challenge, which was to run 300 kilometres in March. She finished it last night, and apparently she got third place. Brilliant. Well done, Amy. Tina says she's still way behind. Did you enter the same challenge then, Tina? Another thing we've been doing this afternoon is Victoria and I have been watching videos of the Boston Marathon just to get Victoria excited about going to Boston. So Tina has entered the same challenge, but she says she's way behind. Does anyone have any races planned for this weekend? Question mark. Tina, are you ready for Sunday? So Tina is running the Yeovil Half Marathon this weekend. Gosh, we're already at 1 kilometre. Wazza has a 20-miler preparation for London. Will that be your final long run, Wazza? Oh, Amy's still full of cold. Tina's still full of cold, but she's hopeful. Hopeful that she'll get round. I'm sure you'll get round. I mean, it won't be the time that you were looking for. Probably, I don't know, you might surprise yourself, but it probably won't be the time that you were hoping for when you started out training. But I'm sure you'll get round and it'll be fine. Just take care and look after yourself. By the way, if you find it difficult to type while running, have you tried using voice to text? Oh, question mark. So Wazza says it probably won't be his final long run. Needs to do some more training before he was going to defer. Clearly feels undertrained. When the marathons get close, we always feel like we could do with some more training. So I'm just trying to spark a little bit of chat going on in the run here because nobody's talking. But it doesn't seem that many people are interested. Wazza has just replied, and that's about it. And I think Clive said something. Definitely, he says, yeah. I just said, when the marathon gets close, we always feel like we need some more training. A bunch of us have Paris Marathon next weekend. There are quite a few of us from Zwift going along. I believe there is also a little bit of a meet-up in Boston in a few weeks' time as well. Quite a few Zwift runners heading out there, including my wife. Amy says she can't wait to see how we all get on in Paris. Heather says, when the marathon gets close, I feel like I need a holiday. Tina is going to try not looking at her watch to see if that helps. Paul recommends hot lemon and ginger to get rid of that cold. Sarah Jacobson also has a sore throat and is panicking a little bit. Well, that's not fair. She's not panicking, but she's just annoyed, I think, that her last couple of weeks of training have been sidelined a little bit by not feeling very well. Tina says, why do we put ourselves through it, Heather? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But it has been 3 months of hard work to get here. So let's just do our best. Let's give it our best shot. Try our hardest to surprise ourselves, maybe, or do what we know we're capable of when we get to our races in the next few weeks. Whatever we're doing, whether it's Yeovil Half Marathon, a local hilly 10k that Clive has got at the weekend, or one of the big ones like London or Boston coming up. Whatever you're doing, good luck with it, and just do your best. And try and relax. Just relax and enjoy it. The more you relax, the more you look at the positive side of things, the better you will do. It's all about positive thinking. The power of the mind over the body will make us achieve more than we thought possible. You can do it, and you will. Oh, totally agree, Tina. Tina says, I'm so looking forward to sunny trail club runs through the summer. Just no pressure, I know. And in the same way, I'm looking forward to getting Paris Marathon done. Whatever we achieve at Paris, it's been a great journey, but it's hard work. And I'm really looking forward to just kind of settling into trail running again. And just doing, I'm doing these 100 milers this year. So, in a way, I'd much rather do a 100 miler than a fast marathon. Although I love both disciplines for different things. But 100 miles in the countryside, just stopping at all the aid stations, eating everything in sight, taking your time, having a lovely day out. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely great. I mean, a few mountains to climb, perhaps, but that's all right, isn't it? Summer is definitely on the way, everyone. Full stop. It is still light here on the south coast of the UK. Yeah. Do you know what though? I've quite enjoyed losing the weight. So I think I am now, the last couple of weeks, I am being very disciplined with my diet. So, well, apart from the chocolate cake and the pizza the other night, I'm generally keeping well away from processed sugar. I'm generally trying to eat a lot more vegetables, a lot more fruit. Just over these last couple of weeks, I've definitely lost quite a bit of weight. So, we are now, well, the last time I weighed myself, I was around about 68 kilos, which is perfect race weight. Just maybe lose a little bit more next week. And hopefully, we'll be perfect. Yeah, Clive Finmore says, well, the first half of a 100-miler is a lovely day out. Yeah. After that, it's grinding time. Yes, I suppose you're right. Right. Paul Deering. Hello, Paul. Hope you're well. He says, I've got an idea for a Zwift meetup in the future. We need a UK event that incorporates camping and a full weekend of running at our own pace. I'm thinking Race to the Stones or something similar. Totally agree. There is a brilliant event next year called the Roseland August Trail Weekend, the Rat Weekend in Cornwall. That might be a bit far for some people to travel. We could do one of the 24-hour weekends in up in the Midlands. There's also the event that Amy is doing this year. We could do it next year, called the Grimthorpe Ultra. Mind you, the shortest distance there is 40 miles, so maybe we need something with like a 10k and a half marathon. Paul Hayward wants it to be near a good hotel. Tina says it sounds lovely, but I don't camp ever. Right, so Tina, you and Paul Hayward can stay in a lovely hotel. And the rest of us can camp. Paul, yes, brilliant idea. And I mean, obviously, we've been thinking about doing a Zwift kind of conference for a long time. And we've never got it organised. And I keep meaning to talk to Sarah Jacobson about it and try and set something up properly. But your idea is brilliant, and we should definitely. I'll have a look, see what we can find. There could be one of those like 24-hour or 48-hour runs where you can just do as much as you want, as much or as little as you want. So some people could do 5k, other people could do 100 miles. Heather says camper van camping is good for me. I'm sure we can have a look at that as well. So yeah, okay, I will definitely have a look. And if anybody else wants to have a look and see what's around, I think probably the middle of the UK would be ideal to allow everybody, from Scotland and Cornwall to travel equal distances and not have too far to go. If we had it in Cornwall, if we went to the Roseland August Trail in Cornwall, that's a long way for people in Scotland to travel. Similarly, if we did the Skyline Scotland weekend, which is brilliant and has loads of events that anybody could run, 5k right up to the Ben Nevis Ultra and the Glencoe Skyline, which are 50-odd k, quite serious mountain races. The Skyline Scotland event is absolutely fabulous, but it is quite a way up in Scotland. So, yeah, we want a summer event, don't we? A summer camping event. Okay, let's think about that. We're 3 kilometres in and running through Titans Grove. If there is anybody running who is new here, if you run an extra 2 kilometers at the end of this event, you will find the dinosaurs. Right, Clive has had the same problem that I had, in that his newer phone is worse than his old phone. I've got my old phone back now, and it's much better at voice to text than my new phone, which is rubbish, because Clive keeps calling Heather Hannah. Heather says, although that is an improvement on the usual autocorrect for Heather, which is heavier. Yeah, that's not great, is it? Paul Deering says, Tina, I'm sure I will struggle getting Debbie into a tent. She's also a 5-star person. Glamping will be looked at, I'm sure. Yes. Well, maybe we should find an event somewhere that isn't camping and it's all like just basically in a hotel. That's why I wanted to do a Zwift conference, because we would book a hotel en masse. We would charge people for staying in the hotel, and then we would have a room where we'd have nibbles and we could have our food, and we could also have a couple of treadmills, and we could have speakers coming to talk to us about Zwift or about running. We could have races on the treadmills, or just running on the treadmills, and we could also go out and do some runs outside. And that's my plan. I'd love to do that. I just need somebody who knows what they're doing to organise something. I mean, anybody knows how to do that. You know, I've never booked a conference before, and so I need to know how to do it. Sarah Jacobson and I did plan to have a meeting about this and try and organise it. So maybe I'll think about that again, because then we can all stay nice and cosy in a hotel, come down for breakfast at a civilised hour, go out for a morning run. Hello, Amanda. Yeah, Tina says that sounds much more Tina friendly. Exactly. Maybe we could do park run on the Saturday morning, have our breakfast, then have a morning of speakers coming to chat to us. Maybe we could have some Zwift races in the, like, 1 against 1. You know, we could have a competition. So we've got 2 treadmills, and we can have like rounds, and the fastest person knocks the other person out, and you get to a final. You know. So you could have like 8 people enter, and then you could have races 2 against 2, get down to a semi-final and then a final. Be awesome. We could get somebody from Zwift HQ in London to come and chat to us. We could possibly organise some freebies, some Zwift goodies. The thing is, the state of Zwift at the moment, it's just so difficult to get anything out of them. They're so tight-lipped about what they can do and what they can't do. I don't think they've got any resources at the moment, especially not for running. Yes, Heather, exactly like gladiators. What we could do is we could have, while you're on the treadmill, you have a big hammer, like a big inflatable hammer, and you try and knock the other person off the treadmill next to you. That would be awesome. We should do that as well. Yeah, or team events, says Clive. Treadmill tag, says Paul Hayward. Who knows how to book conferences? Let's do this. Come on. Let's do a Zwift conference. Tina can do the catering. Oh no, we did get the hotel to do the catering, don't we? Yeah, that's another good idea. We could have run a total distance for the weekend. Everyone takes part to help. You see, the only way that we will get Zwift HQ to help us is if we do something online on Zwift. So we would have to, as well as having the conference and doing outdoor runs and park run or something like that, we would have to do something on the platform and advertise it and write about it, take photos, do lots of social media about it. I can do all that. I'm very happy to do all that. But it's like the basics of booking, finding somewhere suitable, booking the venue, charging the appropriate amount of money for everyone to come. But I don't think we can do it for free. I think people would have to pay for their hotel rooms. Right, Paul Deering says, how did a camping weekend turn into gladiators? I think we're thinking of both of those things now. So we're having a camping weekend to which Paul Hayward and Tina are going to stay in a hotel, and Debbie Colville is probably going to stay in a hotel as well. But we're also reigniting the fire of doing a Zwift conference at some point. That's another good idea, Clive. We could continuously run on Zwift using one avatar through the whole weekend. With a live stream, of course. Yes, that does sound awesome. Well, we've got some great ideas. We just need the people to implement it. I'm going to write to Richard Mellick, Clive. I'm going to write to Richard and see if he would help us. Amanda says, how many laps of Mayfield can we do over the whole weekend? Tina Beard has just Googled how to book a conference, and she says she's none the wiser. Exactly. I've done it. I've Googled it. I've looked at, I did last year, when we talked about it last year, I went and I tried to start doing it. And I just got so confused and bogged down. Oh dear. But actually, I've just thought of somebody who could help me, actually. Clive will know, the lady who organises the Cornish Run Show. She might know how to do all that stuff. We should get the book, Conferencing for Dummies. Right, we've nearly finished. We've only got 600 metres to go now, after all that chat. Tour of Watopia, we are digging up loads of extra XP here. I still don't feel like I'm much more than halfway through level 28 though. So I haven't put on a great deal, actually. I can't see my orange bar creeping too much further along from what it was when we started, to be honest with you. I'm sure it has. I just haven't noticed. Paul Hayward says, we could actually write the book after we've done it. So after we've organised the conference, we could write the book on how to organise a conference for dummies. Right, okay, first two steps. I will email Richard Mellick, who is one of my contacts at Zwift HQ in London, and ask him about it. Secondly, I'll email my friend who organised the Cornish running show and see if she's got any tips on how to go about doing this. We need somewhere maybe with the track, or with a hotel with a nearby track or a nearby park run. We need to organise treadmills to be donated to loaned to us by Woodway or Techno Gym for the weekend. Or in fact, we need a whole Zwift setup. 2 Zwift setups. I'm sure I could organise the Zwift setups just by bringing some TVs and some Apple TV boxes with us. That would be alright. It's just the treadmills we'd need to get hold of. Yes, Tina, you're right. Noble Pro would do it. Of course they would. Of course, no. Why did I not think of that? Noble Pro would give us a couple of treadmills. Hopefully Zwift could pay for the cost of transporting them. We are just coming up to 5k. 5k done. And just 100 metres to the finish line of Tour of Watopia Stage 3. Next week we will do Tour of Watopia Stage 4. But before that, come and join us tomorrow evening for the final Paris Marathon training session. It's the long run, 2 hours tomorrow. I will run the whole thing with everybody tomorrow. No skimping out early for me. I will run the whole thing with everyone for 2 hours tomorrow evening. Probably get about 10 miles done in those 2 hours. So it'll be a nice end to Saturday, an end to our Paris Marathon training. And there we are, 5.1 kilometres done. Heather says, if it's like gladiators, we will all need special names. Right, so that's Heather's job, is to come up with the special names. Amy says, well done everyone who ran. Thank you, Stephen. Hopefully see you again tomorrow evening. Yes. So, tomorrow evening, we will be running 2 hours. We'll probably do about 10 miles. Hopefully see you all there. I'm going to run the 2 hours, but you don't have to run the 2 hours. You can just come and do 5k if you want, or 10k, or half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever you'd like to do. It'd be lovely to see you there. Come and join us tomorrow for the Paris Marathon long run training session, final one of this block. We've been going since January, all the way through January, February and March. We've been training for specifically the Paris Marathon, but I know other people have been training for other things. Tina will not be running tomorrow because Tina is running the Yeovil Half Marathon on Sunday, so really good luck to Tina. Clive, I know, has a hilly 10k this weekend as well. And anyone else who has a race this weekend, good luck, enjoy it, have fun. We have just over a week to go until the Paris Marathon. So, good luck everyone. Take care, and we'll see you for the long run tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, and if you're not joining us tomorrow, have a great weekend anyway, whatever you're doing. See you soon. Bye-bye. Amanda says, good luck, Tina, by the way. And Paul Hayward says, good, nice short run. See you all tomorrow for the very long run. Tina says, great chatting again. Clive says, cheers, everyone. See you again next time. Paul Hayward says, good luck, Tina. Heather says, thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.